afternoon. This is Aaron Smith. I am your financial design coach. Um, this is a Daily Bread Podcast. This podcast is for individuals who are earning currently $150,000 a year or more. If you are a professional, you're higher degreed, you're earning a great income, and you're stuck, you're not sure why you're not further financially in your life currently than where you think you might need to be today, this podcast is for you. If you are currently moving up the ranks financially in your life, and you would like to have strategies that allow you to even build much more on that, this podcast is for you. If you're interested, you're a high income earner, highly educated, and you have kids, and you're wanting your kids to be even more successful financially than you are, Daily Bread is for you. I have a special topic that I want to share with you this evening, which is absolutely necessary for every single person in this country, especially if you are a Black male or female. It's absolutely necessary that you understand, you want to engage, and figure out how to become a successful entrepreneur. Many of you may have thought about becoming an entrepreneur and you don't know where to start. Many of you may currently be an entrepreneur and doing very well. I'm going to give you some strategies to take it to the next level. You may be on the fence right now. You're not sure how to maneuver the process to become an entrepreneur. Let me say this to you. Each and every single one of us, currently right now, no matter what you do in your profession, no matter who you work for, you are a boss. That's right. You are an entrepreneur. You just don't truly understand it. So what we're going to do is this evening is we're going to talk about the gig economy. We're going to talk about moonlighting. And we're going to talk about how you can drive your income up, your wealth up by understanding how to position yourself financially. Let me say this before I get started, and I think this is so important. Whenever you give your time to listen to someone, I think you should be able to tune in and really understand where they come from in terms of their understanding and their wisdom. But I think it's also important to listen to someone that is going to take you where they've already been and where they're already gone. There's no smoke and screens here. What you're going to get is you're going to get the real deal. I'm going to share with you how you grow the wealth in your family, not only because I've shown thousands of other individuals and businesses how to do it, I've been able to acquire and do it myself. Just to kind of give you a little bit about me, once again, I'm Aaron. I am I'm out of the city of Richmond, Virginia, Central Virginia. Central Virginia, Richmond is approximately about 100 miles south of Washington, D.C., and approximately about 350, 400 miles north of Atlanta. So let's talk about the importance of my journey through Richmond. Born, raised in Richmond, mother was a domestic worker. My father was a truck driver. I have two brothers, and we lived paycheck to paycheck. Paycheck, that's right, paycheck to paycheck. And in our household, my mom and dad never talked to us or shared with us anything that has to do with the language of money. So I grew up and my brothers grew up not understanding nothing about money. The only thing that was important for my mom and dad was that we have a better and improved life, financial life, up and above what they had done in their lives. And they say, Aaron, Martin, and Reggie, it's important for you to get a higher education. I want you to go to school. And we did that. That's right, we did that. And what Aaron found out is that life is very simple, but it's shown to be complicated. So what I want to do this evening is I want to share with you how to bring this thing down to be simplistic, how to build wealth. Currently, I have a financial advisory firm. That's right, financial advisory firm. Exactly what it sounds like. I help individuals and businesses build wealth. I coach those individuals on how to build wealth. I've been doing it since 1993. Oh, watch this. I also started doing it when I had a full-time job as a credit analyst for a company called Ford Motor Credit, right? I also, from Ford Motor Credit, went over to a credit union, and I was helping people understand the benefits of keeping their credit good so they could acquire loan products. So I've been doing entrepreneurship since 1993. Currently, the firm that I own, we have approximately $250 billion under management and under advisement. So excited about helping individuals manage their money and helping them build this wealth. In my job or my company, I my lovely wife. She's in the business with me and very special to me. Very special to me. Both of my kids, my son Justin and my daughter Jasmine, they also work in the business with me. I'm so excited about having a family business that not only we can help individuals build wealth, but we can also, or I can also pass that wealth to my children. And my children will be able to take that business and continue on helping others, individuals build wealth. So that gives you a little bit about me. Let's talk about you. All right, let's talk about you. Currently, right now, you are educated, you're successful in what you do. But you say, I'm tired. I'm sick and tired I'm just tired. And I want to do something that I can own. I want to do something that I can love. I can do something that can help myself and help my community, right? That's what we're going to talk about. Before I get there, to share with you some strategies on how you can win as an entrepreneur. And let me do say this. If you're currently working and you're thinking about being an entrepreneur, you're currently working as a full-time job, what I want you to do, I want you to follow me here. I want you to keep your full-time job and I want you to transition very slowly to entrepreneurship. And I'm going to talk about that in just a moment. But before I get into that, let me just tell you a history, our history, and where we're going. This is important, very important. I do have some gifts. I have some talents that the Almighty has provided and gave me. My ancestors have taught me. I've listened. I've learned, but I also understand the way forward. That's right, the way forward. So come on in. Let's have a conversation. You know, back in the 90s, back in the actually 80s, from the year 2000, 80s or 1980s, up to the year 2000s, one of the things that was very prominent in corporate America was something that we call pensions. And in short, what is a pension, Aaron? A pension is a monthly payment that you are awarded when you stop working for a company for many, many, many years. It's like a reward of a monthly payment because you stayed with us for 30 years, 35 years, 40 years as an employee. And when you stepped away as an employee, that pension would give you a monthly payment based on what we call your high average 3 yearly income. So based on the number of years that you've been with the company, based on your last 3 year high in income, the company says, Aaron, we're going to award you a monthly payment for the rest of your life. Ladies and gentlemen, that was very prominent from 1980 to the year 2000s. Today, back in 1985, they start to freeze pensions. In other words, they start to get rid of them. As we went into the year 2010, you start to see most corporations, these are large Fortune 500 companies, get rid of their pensions. That pension is a foundation of your financial life. And you could imagine these employees that work for these companies for many, many years start to feel that, wow, I no longer have this security. This security is starting to be taken away from me as an employee. Well, they replaced it. They replaced it in 1990 with something that's called a contribution plan. I'm going somewhere with this because our conversation is about entrepreneurship. But I want to bring you up to a point and share with you why it is important for you right now to understand what's your next move when it comes to your finances. So let's go back for a second. In the 1990s, there was the establishment and the growth of the contribution plan. Well, Aaron, what is a contribution plan? A contribution plan is nothing more than what we call a 401k plan or a 457 deferred compensation plan or a 403b plan or a thrift savings plan if you're federal government. It's a contribution. It means that you, the employee, is responsible for contributing into the plan through your payroll. And the company that you work for generally matches a percentage of what you put in. That's a contribution plan. With the contribution plan, it has a menu of investment options available for you in the plan. Your employer is not responsible for telling you what options to choose in this plan. You're responsible for that. You're responsible for making sure that you have enough wealth in the future so that you can live your best life. So they took away the pension, take it away, took the responsibility and put it on you, the employee, in what we call a 401k plan or a 401k-like plan, typically what we call a contribution plan. At the same time, in the mid-90s, when they took away or when they started the contribution plan and took away the pension plan, they started to require you as the employee to put a portion of your hard-earned money into what is called health care benefits, health insurance. Oh, back in the 70s, in the 80s, as an employee, the employer paid for your health insurance, 100%. It started to go away in the mid-90s. So many of you who work for a company right now, if you have health insurance, many of those companies are saying, yes, you can have it, but we have to ask you to put a percentage of your employment income into the medical insurance. I'm going somewhere with this. See, because what we're seeing is happening is that corporations are becoming more greedy and they're taking more of the benefits from you. However, they're requiring you to work more hours. You're putting in 50, 60, sometimes even more hours to make your 3, 6, 7-figure income. So Aaron, I got a $250,000 income. I'm doing great, but they're requiring me to work 60 hours to have it. All right. I'm not going to get into why the hours are really destroying your thought pattern and what you can do. We'll talk about that at a later time, but I'm taking you somewhere here because you're here to learn how to get out of the rat race. I'm going to show you how to get out of the rat race. It's the exact same way that I got out of the rat race in 1993. Only today, it's much easier to get out of the rat race. That's right. Back in 93, it was much harder. Technology wasn't as advanced as it is today. It was much harder. The thought pattern, the people back in the late 80s, we didn't think about moonlighting, right? Or what they call the gig economy right now. Back then, we call it moonlighting. It wasn't as an opportunity back then. Today, it's more of an opportunity. I'm going to tell you why you should participate. So, as we're talking about this foundation, the foundation of our country, as it relates to its financial economics, the American economic system, I'm sharing with you where the American economic system is going and how you stay in front of it and how you win. And we have to do it through changing our mindset. You have to change your mindset. And you have to. It's not an option. You have to bet on yourself. You have to bet on yourself. And I'm going to show you how to do this as we go along here. So once again, we now start having the millennial generation come in. My kids, the millennials. They say that a millennial will have 15 to 20 jobs in their lifetime. Once again, back during my time, back in the 80s, back in the 90s, you worked for the same company for 30 years. Corporations had you for 30 to 40 years. That was stability. Now you got millennials who are going to be changing jobs 15 to 20 times in their lifetime. Do you call that stability? Do you call that the company cares about your interest? I don't think so. And it's going to get different, but much different. But if you're prepared, you're going to win. I'm going to show you how to do this. You're actually going to win. This is right now, 2025, of all of what we're going through with the current administration, what we're going on with the job loss for many people of color, especially Black women. 300,000 jobs have been lost since January of 2025. 300,000 of them in Black women. Black women. Does corporate really care about you? You have to answer that question. But I'm going to show you how right now, 2025, is an opportunity of a lifetime. But you got to change your mindset. And I'm going to show you how to do this. All right. So, as I talked about the history of where we've been, there's some strategies, there's some things that you can do to get out of the rat race. Okay. And I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to tell you how to do it. This is not going to be a piece of cake, y'all. Let's face it. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to be a piece of cake. But it's easy. That's weird, man. It's not going to be a piece of cake, but it's easy. It's not going to be a piece of cake, but it's simple. It's not going to be a piece of cake, but it's your foundation. It's not going to be a piece of cake, but this is what your family genes allows you to do. We have gotten away from it. We have to get back to it. So, just to share with you just a little bit, and as I go into our true conversation this afternoon, I want to say to you this, is that I've already done this myself. Currently, as I told you all, I have a financial advisory firm. That is my foundation. That's the foundation of what I do. I help individuals, small business, professional athletes manage their wealth. That's the foundation of what I do. Now, I started doing this in 1993. I started doing it when I was working in corporate America. So I was working in corporate America from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday through Friday, and from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Watch this. 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. I was working on myself. I was working for myself. 2 years forward, 2 years forward, 1991, 1992, 1993, 93, I left my full-time gig or my full-time job. I left my security, insurance, 401k, steady paycheck. I left that job for the job that I was doing, my job, my own self that I was doing 4 hours a day because I started to make this much more money than I was making over here. Mhm. But I didn't have any benefits over here. I didn't have that security. Now, currently, right now, I have 8 sources of income. 6 of those sources of income is what we call passive income. In other words, I don't have to get out of my bed, out of my chair to make those sources of income. Those 6 sources of income, they come in from development over 30 plus years, the development of growth of investments that I created outside of the foundation that I do every single day. But remember, I started off what? I started off over here, having my own ideas and my own company with my full-time job. I want you to follow me here because many of you who are thinking about this, how do I do this and how do I manage to keep food coming to my family on our table, still able to enjoy my life, do the things I love to do, and transition? I'm showing you the roadmap right now. 6 sources of income. Now, my 2 main sources of revenue is, once again, as I said, my business. But second, I contract out large financial organizations and I train $1 million producing financial advisors. These are financial advisors that are already successful, they already make $1 million a year. I train them to improve their operations, how to make more money with less time. That's what I am gifted to do. So I have two basic streams of income: my business and a second business working with corporations that pay me to support their advisory teams. All right. Now, how did it all start, Aaron? It started because I was sick and tired. Back in the day, we call it moonlighting. So I started moonlighting. And why did this become, now that I look back, why did this become successful for me? Let me tell you why. Get your pen and paper out. Pen and paper, something to write on as I share with you. Let's talk about this. I think this is so important. This is important. Number one, be careful who you tell your plan. Be careful who you share what you're trying to do. Matter of fact, it's in your best interest as you start to navigate being an entrepreneur. And Aaron already said, don't leave your full-time job and go jump into entrepreneurship. Keep your full-time job. and start to navigate here. But be careful who you tell that you're going to do this. The reason you want to be careful is they're going to become what we call, and already are, what I call dream busters. It may not be on purpose. It's just who we are as people. Be careful who you tell. Could be your parents, could be your siblings, could be your educator or your teacher, could be your friends. Be careful who you share that you're going to do this, because what they're going to do, they're going to naturally do what they do is love you. They naturally love you. Because they love you, they're going to tell you that you're taking a risk. It's not going to work. You want to be careful, and you want to do this because we are coached as we are little boys and little girls. We're coached to have security. And security is a full-time job. That's why you go to college. Why did you go to college? Why did you go to college? Now, some of you may have gone to college because I want to have more knowledge. And I want to have more knowledge and more knowledge and more knowledge. So you keep going to college. The majority of us go to college and universities is because we want to learn something that's going to give us the ability to earn more money. And if we go through that process, that's going to give us the stability. There's the stability that we want in our life. And then once I go get that job or have a career, that career is going to give me stability. And as long as I got that stability, it's going to make me feel good. It's going to make me know that I got something I can hold on to. That's going to get me to where I want to be financially in my life. And oh, by the way, all of those people that you tell what you're getting ready to do, that's how they think. That's how they feel. They love you. They're going to be what we call dream busters. They're going to bust your dreams. You better be careful who you tell. Keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. When I started in 1993, after I left college, I had a good job making good money. I had just had my daughter, Jasmine, at the time. Me and my wife had just bought our new home. And I told my wife I was tired. I didn't want to do this no more because everything that I saw in corporate wasn't for me. It wasn't going to work for me. I saw that I wasn't going to go up the chain of command financially. And only certain number of people could get up there anyway because it goes like this. And I knew that. I knew as a black male that I didn't have the appetite to fight that. But I also knew from my ancestors and I knew from my skill sets and what God gave me, I was special. I had something. I had something. And I said, I got something. But here in corporate America, they ain't seeing what I got. And they want to pay me this amount for what I got. And I said, I can't stand that. I got to do something different. I gotta bet on me. So I bet on me. Now, the only person that I shared that with was my wife. Was my wife. Now, I'm telling you, I'm not telling you at that time having a new baby and a brand new house. I'm not gonna tell you that my wife bought all in. Mm-mm. She didn't buy all in. She didn't buy all in on that. Uh-uh. Once again, my wife was the same way. She liked stability. She didn't buy in on it, but she supported me. She supported me. Now, as the months went on and those couple of years passed by, she started to see the evidence. And when she started to see the evidence, she bought all in. She was support for me. She provided for the family when I was going through transition. She stuck by me. She didn't criticize me. When it didn't go straight up in my business, when it started going like this, she didn't bail on it. She didn't bail on me. See, you gotta be careful who you tell. That's right. See, because when I told my mom and daddy, remember, my mom and daddy wanted me and my two brothers to go to school and get a job, get a good job. When I told them I had left my employer, I had left my job, and I started my own business, my daddy looked at me like I was crazy. He said, "Really? Negro, you gotta be, come on, are you crazy? You mean to tell me you just bought a new house? You had a new baby, and you no longer full-time working. You started to go out and do something that you think might work. My daddy was upset. See, be careful who you talk to, who you share this information with. That's number one. That's where you start. Let's go further. Get away from the dream busters. Okay. Keep your full-time job. Keep your full-time job. Don't try to go out and do entrepreneurship and build your business when you're learning. We have to learn business strategies, ideas. You got to have your relationships down. You're building all this. Do not go do entrepreneurship and leave your full-time job. Don't do that. This is how you do it. If you are a manager, supervisor, lead person, whatever with your job, and you're working 60 hours a day, a week, I should say, a week. You're working 60 hours a week, and you got people reporting to you. This is what you want to do. Get rid of that position. That's right. If you want to do entrepreneurship, have your own business, there's no way that you can do it. There's not enough brain power. There's not enough energy. There's not enough time for you to do that. So what you have to do, you have to do the basic with your employer. The basics may mean that I have to find a new job, having less responsibility. I may have to make less income. But guess what? I still have my benefits. I'm making less income. That's what I want. You can't have this high income with all these responsibilities that everybody reporting to you and think that you're going to become an entrepreneur. You're not. It's impossible. What you have to do is you have to step back. I'm going to step back. Aaron's going to step back. He's going to have less responsibility. Nobody reporting to him. He has no cell phone that you're going to call me after hours and tell me that I need to do something for you. That's not going to happen. Because if you're truly trying to build wealth and have entrepreneurship, you can't do that. But here, look, follow me. That's part of the game. That's part of the game to keep your time tied up. See, your time is your most important commodity. It's time. It's not money. Money is afterwards. It's time. See, because time is going to give you the ability to develop. It's going to give you time to study, to learn, to rest. There's no way you can work 60 hours a week and go over here and make something happen on your own. It's impossible. So you want to do what? You want to reduce your responsibility with your job. Here, it's another thing. Negotiate your time. hmm Work as less hours as you possibly can on your full-time job. Not more, less. That's right. You got to work less hours. I work 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. That's the best I could get. I was there 7 a.m. I was there 7 a.m. I wasn't there at 6:55 a.m. At 6:59 a.m., I was in my chair ready to work. I didn't give them 15 minutes more. I didn't give them 20 minutes early. I didn't do any of that. 6:59. 3 p.m., I was gone. I wasn't staying to 3:05. I wasn't staying to 3:10, 3:15, 3:30, 4 o'clock. Aaron, you want to work some overtime? We got some overtime work. Nope, I don't want that. 3 p.m., I was gone. You got to give yourself that time if you want to do entrepreneurship and you want to be successful. Why? Because what you have to do is you have to now take as much time that you're spending over here and you have to slowly, gradually give yourself more time. Yourself more time. And when you give yourself more time, you got to be disciplined. What is it that you want to do? You have to give yourself 3 to 4 hours a day. 3 to 4 hours a day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday through Sunday. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to give yourself all of those days and you have to give yourself this 3 to 4 hours a day. You have to be proficient and understanding what you want to do. You have to build relationships. You have to understand how to be compensated, how to compensate yourself. You have to learn how to grow your assets, grow your income. How am I going to create here? I have to go to conferences. Maybe oh boy, it's so beautiful now. You can do a lot of this stuff online. We didn't have that back in 1993. Could you imagine me learning to do something, to learn something? I had to get in a car and I had to go across town, or I had to get in a plane and I had to go across country. Right now, technology. Easy. Technology has so much at your fingertips. AI, artificial intelligence? Really? Right now? Right now is the best time. Right now, and I said in 2025, is the best time for you to become entrepreneurship. Have entrepreneurship in your right now. Not tomorrow, right now. Oh, my girlfriend said you're gonna have to do this and you're gonna have to do this and you have to don't listen to him. Oh, my cousin said, well, you're gonna have to do this and this and this and this. Don't listen to him. See, you gotta want it. But you also gotta know what's happening in this country, if you will, this evening. See, what's happening in this country is that corporate America, they don't value your talents. They don't value your skills. They don't value your journey. They look at you as profit. Profit. That's one financial term that I teach to my kids, my grandkids. Profit. What is profit? How does profit work? But they look at you as an opportunity to use your body, to use your mind, to use what God gave you, and they want to pay you pennies on the dollar. So I ain't messing around here no more. I ain't messing around. I'm gonna tell y'all the real deal. And many of us, we're letting them do it. And when they get tired, when they don't need you no more, when they've got all of the knowledge, when they've gotten all of your intellectual capabilities. See, because you didn't sign a contract, you didn't go to an attorney and set up a contract that says that you can't have my intellectual capacity. You gave it to them. And when they have it all from you, they got it all from you. hmm They're going to replace you. That's right. They're going to replace you. See, they're going to replace you because it's the way it is. It's not personal. See, corporate America is not emotional. They're profit driven. See, many of us don't understand the American economic system. Understand profit margins. We don't understand shareholders. Mhm. We don't understand our tax system. But what we do know is we do know that we're educated. We do know we hold a degree. We do know that we have the ability to get up every single day, put our shoes on, and I can go to work. And I do know as long as I go to work, my paycheck is going to come. But the day that you don't have that income, that day when they tell you that I don't need you no more, see, that's going to be a day when resentment is going to set in. Resentment is going to set in because you didn't believe, or you believe that they trusted you enough that they're going to keep you and use your talents and they're going to keep compensating you. But they're not even thinking like that. You're just another number. And what you're going to do, high income earner, highly educated, I know it. I already know. That's who I work with every day. What you're going to do is you're going to spruce up your resume. Gonna spruce up your resume, and you're gonna look for the same opportunity somewhere else. You notice what I said? Same. See, because when you transition from this employer to this employer, it's no different. It's the same. It's the same benefits, it's the same idea, it's the same concept. It's the American economic system. And you're gonna take your talents from here and you're gonna put it on the resume, and you're going to get that resume out and you're gonna wait for that call, and you're gonna get that call, and they're gonna say, hey, I'm gonna pay you 200,000, which you were making 190,000, but I'm gonna pay you 200,000. And you can be like, wow, God is good. That's right. Here's the thing. They're going to do the same thing to you that the first job did or your previous job did. That's right. Here's the problem with that, if you will, this evening. The problem is that you're older. When it happens, you're older. Every time it happens, you're older. Mhm. Now, I'm not telling you to leave your job. I'm not telling you to go look for another job. I'm not telling you that. What I am telling you, what I'm telling you is that you should have an insurance policy. And that insurance policy, or what we call income policy, should be another gig. Even if you elect to stay at your full-time job, you still should have something over here that you can depend on. You got to give yourself time to develop. Dream busters. Here's point three. When you're thinking about this, you got to always remember, and you got to be coached on this. How you coach yourself on it? Turn off the television. Nope. Turn the television off. Why turn the television off? Turn social media off. Why turn the television off? Why turn social media off? Because it's negative. It's feeding you negative information. So everything that you hear is negative. Think about it. Turn the news on. Right now, go to your television, turn the news on. I don't care if it's your local channel or it's your cable TV. It's nothing but negative. It's feeding in you. You can't become an entrepreneur, be successful, have 8 sources of income in the future if you always fed negative. So what you want to do is you want to start listening to positive. Well, how you start listening to positive, Aaron? Use the technology that you have. Start listening to motivational speakers. Start listening to people in your community or in your group that have been successful at what you're trying to do. Listen to them. Get information from them. Spend your 3 to 4 hours a day learning from them. Learn from them. Get your information from them. Understand ways they failed from them. hmm hmm That's what you want to do. And hence, what Aaron is saying is love yourself. Love yourself. Aaron, how do you become successful? How did you position yourself to become successful in what you do? And if I had to go back on my 32 years of this journey, what is the one thing that I could say happened that allowed me to be successful? And it didn't start immediately. I learned how to love myself. I started to think of myself as a king. I'm the most important person in the room. Nobody had nothing on Aaron Smith, but it took years for me to understand that. And the reason I didn't get it early is because in my race, many times we're told that we're beneath, we're not of value, you're second class. You have to wait. And I bought that. I bought it. But it took me, me. I had to love me. Once I understood how to love me and I became selfish, let me explain. Selfish, selfish that I can give six figures away in my community every year. But I had to be selfish first. Selfish to build a net worth over $12 million with no debt. But I had to be selfish first. I had to love me. Once I loved me and I understood me, how important that God made me, and I was a king. Once that changed and I started to think of that and love that and understood that, my income soared. It soared. I could go to corporations and say, hey, I'm offering what I'm offering to you. Oh, and it's going to cost you $50,000 to do that. But when I didn't love me, when I wasn't selfish, when I felt that I wasn't of value, I would charge 5,000 for it. And I can tell you how many opportunities I lost because I underbid and undervalued myself. And I would have other financial advisors that come to, can you teach me that? Can you show me how you did that? And I started, whoa, hold on for a second. I'm more valuable than I ever thought. And when I started to say, my value is worth this. And when I start asking corporations for this, they start paying me that. Aaron, what do you require? I require five-star hotel. What else do you require, Aaron? First class. I go first class, five-star hotel, limousine. That's my minimum requirement. And now we're going to talk about how much you're going to pay me for what I'm going to what I'm going to do for you. Hmm? When I start to value myself. See, ladies and gentlemen, when you start to go to entrepreneurship, when you start to think about, okay, I work for this company and I make this. I make $200,000 a year. That's great income. But you're valued at 500,000. Wait a minute. If they paid you 200,000, could you imagine what their contract is, what they're getting compensated? Could you imagine? Oh, but 200,000 is good. It allows me to be successful. I'm doing what I want to do. Oh, I didn't say that 200,000 wasn't. But if you want successes financially for yourself and your family, leaving a generation to the next generation, leaving wealth to the next generation after your next generation, you gotta get what you're valued at. And many times you're not gonna get that in corporate America. It's not how it's built, it's not how it's designed. But you can get it entrepreneurship. You can make 200,000 on your full-time job, and you can make 500,000 as an entrepreneur. That's $700,000. Oh, you can make $700,000 a year. Make 500,000 part-time in your own business, with your own skills. Here's the other thing. Next bullet point. Don't work for a company that says that you can't do something outside of what you're doing. I am starting my entrepreneurship. I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff. I got to be online. People, they're going to know what you're doing. They're going to snoop and know what you're doing. She's leaving at 3 p.m. every day. She ain't staying to 3:01. She's leaving at 3 p.m. What's going on? They can start snooping. Oh, she got this other gig she's doing. Well, Aaron, you can't do that and work here. Bye. Bye-bye. That's that's the first thing that's gonna happen. Uh-huh. They're gonna want you to keep that corporate mentality. Remember, they want your skills, want your talents. They all want it here. They don't want you to do anything else. It threatens their what? Their profit margin. What is business for? Profit. It hurts their share prices. They have to please their what? Shareholders. It's coming. Don't let them do it to you. Bye. Go find you another employment, another job. That's some real advice right there. That's some real advice right there. Woo-wee. Bullet point. When you start doing this, you're going to fail. You're going to fail. You're going to fail. That's right. You're going to fail. I love it. What's the second what's the second thing, Aaron, that you can share with your audience that allowed you to build the wealth and have the love for self and live my best life right now? What's that number two thing? It's called failure. Boy, I love failure. I love it. I absolutely love failure. Failure is the best thing that happened to me. No, 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 Aaron. No, Aaron. No, Aaron. You're going to fail. When you fail, get back up. Don't quit. It's going to be extra hard when you fail because those people that are dream busters, like I said, I told you so. But you stay the course. Stay the course. See, because if you put your 3 to 4 hours in every day, you're learning. Your brain cells are connecting and getting stronger. I did and I'm 60 years old. I'm 60 years old. At 58, I'm always challenging myself, man. At 58, hablo español. I said, I want to learn a new language. I want to learn Spanish. I'm 58. I want to learn Spanish. I'm pretty good at Spanish now, 2 years. hmm hmm Boy, it was rough. Boy, it was rough. I got a lot more to go to get really fluent in it. Why was it hard? Why was it intimidating? See, because it was something that I'd never done. See? See, I had to learn something. And when my professor, when she was giving me the information on a daily basis, boy, I was like, wow, man, this stuff, man, I'm failing. I'm failing at this. This ain't working. You know what came to my mind? Man, I'm gonna give this up. I won't do this. When you step out on entrepreneurship, folks, and you already know that you got the talents and gifts because God gave those to you. God ain't never put you in a situation where you're gonna fail. Uh-uh. You're not gonna fail because failure is when you stop, when you quit. Failing along the way is just learning. Failure equals learning. We are told failure is failure. We're coached, we're taught. That process is if I fail, I put my head down and I just go on and I go back to what I was doing. No, failure is learning. Every time I failed, I learned something. And what I learned, it got me stronger. It got me stronger. And boy, woo, man, Aaron, man, why are you always excited? Aaron, why you? Because I learned. I learned spiritually, academically, mhm, physically. I'm in the best physical shape in my life. Spiritually, I'm stronger than ever. Do I know my profession? Do I know me, my skills? Absolutely. Because I went through failure, y'all. Don't let people tell you that stuff. You fail, all you failed, this, that. Remember, they're going back to their comfort level. Their comfort level is security. My comfort level is security, but to have true security, you have to go through the failure to have true security. That's how you start your second gig. You fail, you fail, you fail. You didn't get this opportunity. You didn't get that opportunity. You go back and you reassess. Why didn't I get out of your pity party? Get out of your emotions. Why didn't this work, Aaron? Don't blame, oh, it didn't work because my wife didn't cook dinner for me the other night. And I was on an empty stomach. So I went to that meeting and I lost the opportunity. Nope. Nope. You didn't lose because of your wife. You didn't lose because of your kids. Hmm. Aaron, you know why you didn't win that case? You weren't prepared. You weren't ready. Once I accepted that and I went back to work, I started winning. I started winning. Guess who started winning once I started winning? My wife started winning. My children started winning. My grandchildren started winning. My church started winning. My community started winning. This has been a great opportunity for me to share with you. If entrepreneurship, as we close up, is in your genes, in your purview, where it should be, whether you keep your full-time job and start something on the side, a gig, mhm, a gig, or moonlighting as we called it, or you decide to go full-time at some point, have your own business, have multiple businesses, get out of the rat race. Those are some simple strategies that I shared with you. You continue to tune into my video shorts. I offer video shorts. They'll be on my website, G2G Wealth, g2gwealth.com. I have my shorts. I have a lot of webinar content on that. If you want to reach out to our firm, reach out to me, you can do that. But here's the thing. I'm going to give you information as you navigate your individual life and your financial personal life. I'm going to give you strategies to win. I'm going to show you how to use the tax code. I'm going to show you how to structure your investments. I'm going to show you how to use life insurance strategies. I'm going to show you how to use estate planning. I'm going to help you organize financially. See, ladies and gentlemen, many of us are not getting where we want to go, not because we don't have the tools or the assets or the wealth or the income. What we are mostly, we're unorganized financially. Our thoughts are not organized. And we don't know who to turn to. Who do I get information from? Who do I trust to get information from? Use us as a resource. We'll look forward to talking to you next time. God bless you.